Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Talha Javed. In this short tutorial video we are going to discuss some interesting facts of molecular biology about DNA. So in the short introduction of DNA, what is DNA? DNA is basically deoxyribonucleic acid that is present in our nucleus and that control all the cellular activities and all genotypic and phenotypic characteristics of an organism. So DNA is very important structure that is found in living organism and it is involved in the transfer of genetic information from one generation to the second one. So these DNA supercoiled to form chromosomes, and these chromosomes are made up of DNA and protein. The DNA is 40% of total chromosome and the proteins that are basically histone proteins are 60%. In a normal human cell there are 3 billion nucleotide base pairs to form DNA. So basically DNA is made up of nucleotides, 4 type of nucleotides, and these there are 3 billion nucleotide base pairs. Imagine the huge amount of nucleotide base pairs, and these nucleotide base pairs are not all the functional. So some amount of, you can say that some amount of DNA is functional and the some amount of DNA is non-functional. So the part of the DNA that is functional is known as gene. 2% of the total DNA is functional, while the rest of 98% of DNA is known as dark DNA, because it is noticed that it does not involve in any type of protein synthesis. So that's why we can say that it is a dark DNA. There are 25 to 30,000 genes of DNA of human genetic material. These 25 to 30,000 genes basically fall in this category, 2%. So you can imagine that only 2% of our genetic material is functional, and the rest of genetic material is non-functional. And there are some genetic similarities among the individual of the same species, and there is also some genetic similarities with the other species. For example, 99.9% of DNA of one individual is same with the second one. If we compare the DNA of two persons, we should find that we shall find that there is 99.9% of similarity. Only 0.1% of difference is there in between their genetic material, and 0.1% difference is responsible for their different genetic different phenotype. So DNA of one species is also similar with the second one. As you can see here that 7% of your DNA is similar with E. coli, 21% of your genetic material is similar with worms, and 90% of your DNA is similar with mice. While your 98% of your DNA, it's a huge amount, it's a very big amount of genetic material that is similar with the chimpanzee, and that is monkey. So 40 to 50% is of your genetic material is similar with cabbage. So the length of human DNA is very large. We can say that if we extract DNA from a nucleus, its length is about 2 meter, and if we uncoil this DNA, you can say untwist this DNA to form a single linear chain, so we can find that the length that is equal to distance covered by an object from Earth to Sun 600 times. It means if an object cover the distance between the Earth and Sun in 600 times, it will be equal to that 2 meter DNA. Such a very large length of a human DNA. And the distance of Sun from Earth is 147 million kilometers. So is there any cell that doesn't have DNA? Yes, there are some type of cells in our body that do not have DNA. For example, RBCs, red blood cells, that carry oxygen, do not have nucleus and DNA, and also cornified cells such as skin, hair, nails. These are also the types of cell that do not have a proper DNA. So thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Okay, Allah Hafiz.